right, y'all, so I'm headed over here to meet with Christian on this job. So I looked up the address on the county website, you know, the tax website, and this property is like 113 acres. So there's a lot of, it looks like a farm to me. So I can only speculate, you know, on what they want him to do, what kind of work they want him to do. Usually on big properties like this, in my history and in my experience, they usually have like a house area, right? And then they have a farm area. And there's a pond on this property and everything. I mean, I kind of doubt, and I don't know, I kind of doubt that they're going to want him to maintain this whole property. That's way big for somebody new in the game. It's way big for somebody like me too, because it's pretty big. It looks pretty big. All right, y'all, so we're over here at this site right here that I was telling you guys about earlier, and we're kind of looking at, it's an empty property right now, but they're going to be moving back, and it's pretty it's a pretty big property. This right here tells me a lot, Christian. They got a tractor somewhere. They don't have fuel tanks around without a tractor. So, but this property right here, y'all, was one that the lady called and was wanting Christian to do some work over here. And it's pretty big, like I was telling you guys on the way over here. I'm gonna kind of just walk around and video of it. The scope over here can be pretty freaking big. It hasn't been lived in a while. They need a whole renovation though. They don't just need somebody to come do the bushes and shit. They need a whole freaking, they need everything. Nice pool here. You know, anybody with anybody that, they don't live here now, but they're moving back. See, they would want all of this stuff gone. And we don't have to talk about that now, but that's kind of what I'd be thinking. Because who's going to want to be at their pool with all this shit hanging over when they can open that up a little bit and see the pond?
Take all this big shit off.
Yeah. See, you bring the man lift right in here and put the man lift right here, dude. You could go down and trim up the stuff over the water and everything. Just get there, go right down there to that. You know, and not just cut it, but grab it and pull it out to where you don't have to worry about it coming back.
Yeah, dock down there.
And there's a dock. See, they're gonna want all that cleaned out. See, we need to look at the bigger picture, dude. Yeah. There's a bigger picture of work here than what. I'm gonna walk around that way, man, so I can kind of show the video of what. But they need a whole freaking renovation here, don't they? And they may have plans for that. They just ain't. They ain't figured out that they don't know nobody that can do the big stuff, right? Or they plan on hiring somebody after you do the little stuff, you know. But the little stuff and the big stuff can kind of go hand in hand, where you don't have to. Where you?
They're not even on the ground anymore.
Yeah. And what are they going to do here? You know, it looks like they got that fabric up there, and they probably put mulch on there, and the mulch is gone. You can see the red. Is that red mulch?
No, that's a plant.
They probably have some kind of mulch there at one time. But see, they may want to, if they know that you can snatch these out and make this ground pretty, you know, then they might go for that. We know that you can do the edging and all the little stuff here. And look how big that pond is, y'all. That's beautiful. And this is all high doll stuff. This is high doll shit right here, dude. You know?
The cover stopped that big ass tree from going into the pool.
Yeah. And of course they trim this tree up some. You know? But y'all see that freaking pond right there? And see, I don't see why they wouldn't replace all this fence. They're gonna be just spending some money over here, dude. It's just up to us whether we're gonna be the one getting some of it.
Yeah.
I mean, a doctor's wife don't give a damn. She's like,
oh no.
I mean, but it's more, and I talk about it in a lot of my videos. It's more about them trusting you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
it's gonna appear like, oh, they're gonna be tight with the money, but they really are not tight with the money as long as they know they're not getting beat.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, just like those properties that we did last week down there in Fayetteville, those 4 on that one street. See, it took me a while to get in with them, but once they saw that I was in, they're not trying to, and they know that I'm reliable, and they're not trying to, you know, be tight with the money. They're asking me how much. They're not trying, but see, they're going to always be tight with the money from the very beginning because you haven't built a relationship with them.
I can pressure wash all this.
Yeah, everything, dude. There's so much to do here. I need to sit down and make a freaking list of what you can do and what you can't do. That's really what we need to do. Because it's gonna be hard to call her on the phone and just wing it by my pants. You know, even me, and I got a great memory.
I got my notebook in the truck.
You know, and the camera's going to help us because as we will walk around here, we're going to talk about everything, and then I can pull notes from the camera. The camera gives you everything that you need. You know, so pressure washing this right here is going to be something they're going to want to do. Maybe even ripping this fence out, it might be something they want to do. Trimming these trees might be something they want to do. You know, but they don't know that you can do that. They don't know that you have access to somebody that can do that. You see, if they know that, then they're like, well, shit, Christian's got a guy that he works for that's got a Bobcat and been in business for a long time. Maybe he can come over here, but I don't want to knock you out of no money.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's my biggest thing. I ain't trying to debo the job, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I mean, there's just, so also what they want to do, y'all, is they want to move this building here. Now, I don't know, we don't know where they want to move it to. We need to find that out. We need to find out if they're going to rip this fence up, and if they are, and I think you said they are, right? Are they just ripping the chain link fence up, or are they ripping all the fencing up?
Everything's coming up.
All, but this too?
I think they're going to redo that too.
So see, that's a whole nother few $1,000s. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to leave no money on the table. If we do, we don't want to know we're leaving money on the table. You don't want to come into a job like this and leave money on the table, because it's cheaper for them too to have one person come and do everything. Of course, we're not going to build the fence. We could, but I don't want to. And see, there's no point in trimming them bushes if she's okay with ripping them out. The reason why a lot of people trim the bushes is because they don't have the resources, or they haven't thought about ripping them out. And see, if she were out here walking the property with me, I could say, well, you know, we could snatch that out, and we could snatch that out, and then we could, you know, do this and that, and just about have to meet somebody out here to get the whole plan here, you know.
I can call her here.
We just need to figure out what all she wants to do. It's a lot to remember, dude. You know, trimming all that, and if she just wants to trim it, well, you know. But there's a lot more in-depth stuff that needs to happen too. I mean, if they're going to be living in here. They're living here. So when the whole front of the house, man, everything. You know, that crepe myrtle needs trimming real bad, and I'm doing this for the camera. That holly right there, all this stuff, and they may even go as far as to pull some of this stuff out. I mean, you never know. They might grind that stump up. You never know. I mean, you just don't know. You hate to come over here and see a stump grinding guy grinding that stump out and say, damn, I could have got that $2,000. Yeah. You know, yeah. And, you know, and that's what's going to end up happening, because she don't know. We got to tell her what all we can do. Now, I wouldn't want to grind that stump out. That's too much. And that's why it's still there. Because it would take a big boy stump grinder. Yeah. You can give her a shout and see what she's put on speaker here. Man, I'd like to meet her out here, dude. All right, y'all, so we're going to try to call her real quick. I'll get back with y'all. All right, y'all. So y'all saw some of this property. I talked with the owner, and we're gonna meet with the owner over here on Friday, man. It's just way too complex right now. I mean, there's so much to do over here. It's unreal. So I talked to the owner for a minute, and he's gonna meet me over here. Me and Christian come over here on Friday around 2 o'clock, 2:30, and then we'll just go from there, because it's just, you know, and I'll show y'all a little bit of the video that I got, but it's way out, man. I mean, I'm seeing things that people with money and properties like this, they don't go for. I mean, everywhere I look, things are overgrown. So they're gonna have to spend some money to get it in doctor's condition, you know. So, and it might be too complex for me to be able to bid on overall, but I could put a number together for them based on everything. But see, they don't know what to do, and they don't know what well, they don't know what's wasting time and what ain't wasting time. And see, I don't like wasting time. Y'all know that. So I'm approaching it from that aspect. I don't like wasting time. And if I ain't got to waste time, then I ain't. You know, and I don't want Christian to do a bunch of bush trimming and then the doc come over there on Friday and say, hey, we're going to rip them out. You see. And then whatever money they paid him or whatever, then that's a waste of money, you know, at the end of the day. And of course, if I come in on the project and me and Christian can do it, then we can hire a couple of laborers, you know, and me and him can come up with a good number for both of us. I feel like I know I can, you know. I'm not worried about as far as pay, you know. But having a skid steer and everything that you guys see, the blowers, the skid steer, the hedge trimmers, so they trying to hire a Christian just to do the hedges and stuff. Man, they ain't no money. I mean, there's money in that, but who are they gonna hire to do all the other stuff that I know a doctor and his wife, they're not gonna live in a place like that. They're not. I know they're not. It's way too much overgrown crap. So that's my thinking. And I don't know that for sure. And it may be a total waste of my time to meet with the doctor out here on Friday. But there ain't too much on that job that based on the conversation that we had on the phone, that I can't do. You know, I mean, I have a lot of equipment, and you know, the man lift would be helpful over there. I mean, there's just a lot of things you can do, but they're going to have to be willing to spend some money, and I think they know. See, the deck that he's talking about, he keeps going back to this deck that's holding water underneath it. Well, the reason why it's holding water underneath it is because it's got 4 downspouts of that big old house going down into a 12 by 12 area. See, there's too much growth around the house. Nothing really ever gets dry, you know. So, and after they come and look at everything and see everything, they may consider rebuilding that deck. You know, I don't know. You never know. They may. I would. I would rebuild that deck. And I ain't no doctor. So, or at least case scenario, pressure wash it. I mean, it's bad. That deck has got green mold all over it and stuff. It's bad. And it's old. It's 25 years old. They built that place in 97, and it looks like it. So, I know I have dealt with many doctors over the years, and if the doctor don't want it, then if the doctor ain't picky, their wife usually is, and vice versa. So, but a lot of it has has to do with how much time does he have. Is he an acting doctor? Is he a retired doctor? Is he, you know, I mean, moving from Blue Ridge down to the south side, that kind of tells me he might be retired. I don't know that, but that's kind of, and I'll learn all of that kind of thing as we get into meeting with him and everything on Friday. It's a nice ass property for real, y'all. I mean, so we'll see, man. You know, I don't know, but I know that they're not gonna hardly be able to find anybody any cheaper. You know, especially not right now, because in this area right now, where I'm at right now, there are still, I'm seeing down trees, stuff that's not been picked up, blue tarps on roofs, just a whole lot of storm debris everywhere I look, man. I mean, I look up into the woods, and these trees knocked down all up in the woods. These dumpsters everywhere, you know. It can fall back on the availability of a skid steer. I don't know how available they are in this area right now. I don't know. I know how available mine is. Lickety split available. That's how mine is. Damn, that's some big old tree stuff right there. You can just come down through here with, if you had everything, but you know, good job of Christian, you know, finding this particular customer, and you know, it could be really good for him, but I want to make sure I put him in a scenario where he's winning. I don't want him to lose, you know. And y'all know that we know that y'all know that just because they got money don't mean they're willing to spend it. So, but this particular case, they gonna have to spend some money. And I'm not just talking about with the landscaper. I'm talking about they're gonna have to spend some money on every corner. And I don't know what they know about building and things like that. But they're gonna, I hope they don't think they're gonna move back down here and get that property in order for a couple $1,000, because that ain't gonna happen. They could easily, y'all, spend 10 grand on the outside property maintenance stuff, just to get things back in order. Easily spend 10 grand, easy. You know, so yeah. It's a challenge, and that job is a challenge for me. So I know Christian's looking at it like, oh my God, you know, it's quite a challenge for me. So I know it's probably overwhelming for him. Cutting the grass is where Christian needs to be to make the most money, you know, over there. So we'll get this initial cleanup done and there's just so much to do. It's just, yeah, I can't even put it in words, man. It probably would be one of the most complex cleanup jobs I've ever done, in the top 5, guarantee it. You know, and that's before I had a skid steer, you know. You gotta be, you know, on big stuff like that, on big jobs like that, you gotta be able to put a package deal together. And the only way you can put a package deal together is if you know what it's gonna cost. And the only way you're gonna know what it's gonna cost is to be doing this shit for a while, and to know what kind of equipment you got that you don't have to go and rent and stuff. See, I ain't gotta go rent nothing. I can go right over there and move mountains in just a couple of days. Yeah, just a couple of days. Move mountains, y'all. So, ain't a whole lot more I can really say about it, y'all. You know, other than the fact that, you know, Christian did good honing in on that, and we're gonna make it. We're gonna make him shine, man. We're gonna make him shine. And I know there's gonna be a lot of guys coming and comment, man, you hijacking that job from him. That job is outside of his ability right now, y'all. Just to be honest, man. And I told him the same thing. This is outside of your ability. One thing about me is I'm gonna is I'm going to be honest with him about everything, and even if the honesty hurts his feelings or whatever, I'm going to be honest about, you know, that kind of thing. And when I was trying to start my own business, that job would have been out of my league. I would not have been able to do it. I don't have any qualms about saying that. Now, if you had told me that when I was back then my feelings probably would have got hurt. But I just don't think that Christian, he can go over there and he can do the bushes and everything, and he can make a little bit of money, but he can make a lot more money if we can put a package together for the owners and them see the ability that we really have instead of the ability that a 21-year-old has. Nothing wrong with being 21 in a game, but when you're dealing with big landowners and homeowners, they'd much rather deal with somebody a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, with a lot more tools and a lot more know-how and a lot more of everything. And they'll listen to somebody like me quicker than they'll listen to him. Just saying, right or wrong, that's just how it is. I had to go through it and young in the game, and he'll go through it young in the game, and 10 years from now he'll look back on this and he'll say, I wasn't ready for that job, but Ray put me in the game. Ray schooled me a little bit on the process and how not to burn bridges. We're not wanting to burn any bridge anytime, anywhere, unless the customer just makes it that way.
Charge fire.
Alright, y'all, there it is. Looking all pretty. Go in here and eat my lunch. I was right in the middle of eating lunch when he called. So I'm gonna go in here and eat my lunch. And it doesn't look like it's in bad shape for a demo. The teeth on that other one were a lot worse than that, man. So we got the operator's manual. We'll get that off there. Oh yeah, it's in a lot better shape than the one that I was trying to rent. But y'all see, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna eat lunch, and then we'll come back out here and tinker around with it after I get done eating, man. But right now, I'm just happy that it's here, man. I got the owner's manual right here, and I'm gonna look at it and everything. Y'all know what it is, man. man. This is all nice. Y'all know, man. Y'all know. Shit, get a Sammy, man. Sammy. A Sammy. All right, y'all. I'll kick back.